Warning, this show contains strong language and topics that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, my name is Carmine Antonelli. I don't know if anyone's going to find this, but I've been lost in the woods for 30 days, and I need to take a very important message. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last, but it's very important that you hear this. On December 4th, 2016, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. GMT, the Suplah will be live, discussing tables, ladders, and chairs. It'll be on YouTube, and the event will be called Tables, Ladders, and Suplah. What was that? Was that a pack of wild wolves? No. It were just the voices in my head, telling me to watch Tables, Ladders, and Suplah, December 4th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT. Now listen to me. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but Sam Brooks might be there. What was that? Was that a wild chupacabra? No. It was just the voices in my head, telling me to watch Tables, Ladders, and Suplah, December 4th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. GMT. Angie Raquan might also be there. And what was that? Was that the moon hurtling down towards me? No. It was just the voices in my head telling me to watch Tables, Ladders, and Suplah, December 4th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT. Oh look. Brooks has edited in helicopter noises signifying that I'm going to be rescued. But before I go, I need to tell you...
Dickhead, where are your tea bags kept?
So sorry that I'm really close up, but basically Andy asked me to make him a cup of tea, so I've decided to teach him a lesson. DTA, don't trust anyone.
Here you go, you dickhead.
What did you do to it?
I did nothing to it. What? I've done nothing to it. I haven't done anything to it. I haven't. Totally haven't. I haven't. Why, what's wrong with it? Are you sure it's just not gone off?
It's not anything like tea.
I think your tea bags have gone off. Has the milk gone off? Check if the milk's gone off.
You put cheese in.
I haven't put anything in there. What? Put the ghost pepper in.
Get your fucking...
Oh, what are you doing?
Get to my fucking Ben and Jerry's out. What are you doing with fucking me?
It was only a drop.
Oh, but my mouth is on fucking fire! Like my mouth has clap! Clap!
Hello Suplah City and welcome to another edition of the Suplah. I am Andy Quad and with me as always is Liam Dunn.
Let's get right on to the riddles.
I'm here too! Stop forgetting me! I'm here! Stop that!
Also is Sam.
I hate you! I hate you and I hate everything you like!
Let's get on to the riddles.
count. I think it's like 100.
It's 106 and 110. This means you have 4 weeks to equal the score, and then we do a sudden death. Provided you get the ones in the lead up to the Christmas special correct. It's all on you, Andy.
Unless you change, like, partway through if I fuck up and give me double or nothing, right?
Probably.
Woohoo! Right, let's do this!
Right, Andy,
Yes! Is this designed for kids?
are you ready?
Oh, I'm fucked then. Right, yep.
Right. Who lost in under 2 minutes on Sunday night?
Brock Lesnar.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah! I did it! I fucking did it!
You know, somehow I don't think that was a riddle.
No, it was more of a lead-in into what we're going to be discussing, which is, of course, Brock
Wait,
Lesnar.
but does that count though?
No.
God damn it! Where is my riddle?
Losing to Goldberg in under 2 minutes at Survivor Series. Brock Lesnar, the former UFC World Heavyweight Champion, the man who has been undefeated for over 3 years, who has conquered the likes of John Cena and Randy Orton to the point where he concussed Randy Orton hard way at SummerSlam, lost to Goldberg in 2 minutes. Well, under 2 minutes, actually. It was around 85 seconds. So, with that in mind, I want to kind of just open up the floor and let both Andy and Sam discuss exactly what it is. So, Andy's kind of had the opposite reaction to, I think, most of the Suplah Hall residents, and that he's basically, to me, he said that Brock's fucked. That was the 2 words that he came up with. And I feel like now we can give him a chance as to why he feels this and what his thoughts are concerning Sunday night.
Right. So, I'll start with the parts I liked. And there ain't that many. But we'll start on a good note.
Well, it was only 85 seconds long, so...
So, the kind of the shocking ending kind of felt like something you would find in MMA or UFC or something. So that's good! Things need to probably go down that route slightly. Unpredictability is a good thing. However, the issue is that it's Bill fucking Goldberg. He is a 50-something-year-old man who has no real business being in there, to be fair. Now, my main issue is that Brock was the guy who was the one in 21-1. The guy that destroyed John Cena. Destroyed Randy Orton. And he's just left a trail of destruction in his path. So, the guy that should beat Brock should have been the guy that could benefit the most from it. Because he's the guy who beat the streak. So then, you know, you could have given it to a younger person or something. Like a Samoa Joe. Not young, but like up and coming, at least. So maybe like a Samoa Joe or Kevin Owens or somebody on the fucking NXT roster or somebody. But no, they give it to 50-plus-year-old man. Brock is done. He just lost to a 50-year-old guy who can't even do his own entrance properly.
Sam, wait.
Who can't even do his own entrance properly anymore because he's that fucking old. Now, the fact that he's now going to be in the Rumble is a fucking disgrace. But if he potentially wins it, then that will be the worst thing in the history of just anything ever. If he's in it, and if the rumors are true, and Brock is just going to take him out, then fine. But the idea that Goldberg could be the Universal Champion is the...
Or the WWE Champion, he might go over to SmackDown.
Whatever. Any major main event title is a joke in 2016. I originally didn't mind this, but it's now turned into something bad. And it just needs to stop. Brock is fucked.
Okay, Sam, your rebuttal to this.
Goldberg is in his 40s.
Oh, whatever. He looks 75.
You look 12.
Okay, 2 point, yeah.
Goldberg has made a career out of squashing people, regardless of talent, regardless of their status on the card. The only way they could beat him originally was by getting a taser. What did you expect? If you wanted Goldberg and Brock to have a match that was longer than 5 minutes, you would have gotten the exact same thing as you did at WrestleMania 20, and everyone would have hated it. To say that Brock is fucked is just not correct. Yes, he's been brought back down to mortal levels, and quite frankly, that's a good thing. I have been sick and tired of invincible God Almighty Brock Lesnar, who can't take a clean loss to save himself. Right? The only time he's ever, lost ever since breaking the streak and exerting his dominance is that one finish, I think it was at SummerSlam last year, with The Undertaker. And that was The Undertaker, the guy who he beat the streak of. So that didn't hurt him. And this is Goldberg, the man that's already beaten him before, is known for squash matches, and regardless of his age, can still do a squash match. Whether it remains to be seen that he can perform in a full-time match, such as a Rumble, or even a 10-minute match, is completely fine. The match at Survivor Series was completely fine because it played to the strengths of both men, in that Goldberg is good at squashes and Brock Lesnar is best at selling. Regardless of how you view Brock Lesnar in the ring as being boring now, the one thing he is consistently good at is selling. Goldberg is not winning the Rumble. Because if Goldberg won the Rumble, assuming he's a full-time member of the Raw brand, he would go on to face, assumedly, Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. There's no money in that match. There is money in a Lesnar-Goldberg rematch. And that's what they're going to do at WrestleMania. No questions asked. Goldberg is not going over anybody on the roster, because I sincerely doubt he will have any matches leading up to the Rumble. The worst thing that he can do is deliver a jackhammer in a segment to some guy like Rusev, who won't be hurt anyway, because it's Goldberg, one of the major stars of the 90s and one of the most famous wrestlers ever.
So with that in mind, I feel like it's now my turn to kind of give my 2 cents. And I kind of agree and disagree with both of these guys. It's weird. That's kind of why I left these guys to go first, and then I kind of jump in. But I think I kind of want to focus mine more on the fickle mindset of a wrestling fan. I kind of want to come at it from this angle. I agree that it was surprising. I think we all thought that this was going to be given to Brock. I didn't think it was going to be dominating. I thought it was going to be a fairly even match and that Brock would eventually win. Tie up the score. Brock has finally conquered every man he's faced. That didn't happen. 85 seconds, Goldberg went over, pretty clean, destroyed Lesnar. And it's surprising. And when I watched it, I didn't actually watch it on the network. I watched it in a GIF. That's how short it was. But I didn't know how to feel because, and this is what I mean by it's the fickle nature of a wrestling fan, because wrestling fans always, I think especially in today's day and age, and we have been, offenders of this, we have said that, it's too predictable. We want something that's unpredictable. We want something different. We want something that we don't see coming. And then something that we don't see coming happens, and we all get pissed off because it didn't go the way that we expected. Which, like Andy said, and Sam has said, that's a good thing, but can it be good in the wrong way? And that's what I wonder about this. And the reason why I say it's good in the wrong way is, again, I do see kind of where Andy's coming from. Not necessarily even taking into Goldberg's age as a factor. I'm not taking into his botching of slipping over attacking Rusev. That's not a factor here. What is a factor is the internal logic that WWE has created. Let's put it like this. Brock Lesnar, former UFC World Heavyweight Champion. He has dominated John Cena, Randy Orton. 2 of the poster boys of this modern era of WWE. Together they have, 30 WWE World Championships between them, right? And Brock has annihilated them, made them look like nothing, especially with Randy Orton, who he busted open hard way, right? Lesnar, like Sam said in his article that you should go and read on Suplah.com, he was made to be like a final boss of a video game. And then Goldberg comes out and is a man who has not wrestled for the WWE in 12 years. And even when he did wrestle for the WWE, it wasn't an impressive run. He was only there for a year. He was one of few men to go over Triple H, but then he dropped it back to Triple H. So he didn't even have a spectacular run in the WWE. And he makes short work of Brock Lesnar. And this is the problem I've had with Lesnar, because you built him up so much that really no one was deserving to beat him. Not in my opinion, because it wouldn't have made sense for anyone. Especially someone like Goldberg, who, you know, like Sam said, or Andy, I can't quite remember, but he's beaten The Undertaker. He broke the Mania streak, and then he loses to a guy who hasn't wrestled for 12 years in 85 seconds. And I understand what Sam's saying, but the internal logic just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from a story standpoint. I agree with Sam. If they went for 10 minutes, you would have... well, I don't know if you would have quite had the WrestleMania 20 rematch, like Sam's saying, because you got to remember, they were both leaving the end of that night. Like, that's the end of their contract. Brock didn't give a shit about wrestling. Goldberg didn't give a shit about the WWE either, right? They wanted out. So they didn't care how they were going to go out. This was slightly different. So I don't know if you would have had that boring rematch, like Sam's saying, but it wouldn't have been something that I think we were talking about even like now. Like, we're doing this specifically to talk about this match. So I think it's just the fickle nature of a wrestling fan. I think, yes, I'm surprised, but I think it's... You know, I didn't expect it to happen, but it's the internal logic that has been set up that I have a problem with.
Yeah. I can agree with that. And to further capitalize on your point that no one was deserving, you're damn right no one was deserving. It was at the point where it wouldn't be believable for anyone to beat Brock Lesnar in the state that he was in. And for Christ's sake, any of the guys that are suggested, like Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, I think the only two people in that company that could have stood a chance are Shinsuke Nakamura, first and foremost. And even then, he's not a WWE homegrown talent, so they're reluctant to give it to anyone that isn't that, if they want to build stars in the next 8 or 10 years. And the only other guy that I think could have believably done it is Roman Reigns. And the shitstorm that would have occurred if he beat him? Oh no. They want to avoid that completely. So when you're at the point where you have nobody on your roster that can beat this guy, what do? You bring in the nuke. You bring in Goldberg to just get rid of it. To just find a new way to build new stars, because, let's be honest, a guy beats Brock Lesnar. A guy beats the guy that beat the streak. Then what? He's not magically elevated, he just has one impressive win. A career is made through many impressive wins, not just a singular one. And who's to say that you have any faith in creative or booking to book this guy that beat Brock Lesnar in any good way? I just don't see it happening.
And also, to go on from what Andy said about Brock being fucked, I don't think Brock's fucked. I think this cannot fuck Brock. Brock is in a league of his own at this point. Like, he can't get fucked because of this. He's not going to suddenly become a jobber and he's going to be losing to Sin Cara, right? That's just not going to happen.
No,
let me ask, Liam, let me ask. When Conor McGregor lost earlier this year, was he fucked forever?
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not like he came back and became a double champion or anything, right? He was just completely ruined forever.
The first ever UFC double champion.
No, that never happened. No.
And this is kind of... I'm not using this as an excuse to pick on Andy, but I don't understand where his theories come from, because he complains that Brock Lesnar has been built too strong, and then when someone beats Brock, Brock is now fucked. Andy, you've got to... I want you to shed some light. How would you book this? Because I'm confused. How would you book this so that Brock... Like, how would you just book this? I'm interested.
What now? What? Now that he's lost? Or...
Well, you say that Brock's fucked, so how would you make it so that Brock wasn't fucked?
Other than saying he shouldn't have lost to Goldberg. What do you do now to fix
it?
it?
So, right, so, okay, I'm taking...
So would you have... well, hang on. Would you have had Brock go over on Sunday night?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would have had what could turn into a 6-month storyline that culminates at WrestleMania in a potential main event.
No,
You would have just-
wait. I would do it so that Goldberg gets like a fairly good showing. Because then what I would do is it's the beginning of the downfall of Brock. Not like just fucking instantly kill him off. Like instantly like just get it out and destroyed. Like he's had this huge rise. So I would be like, he's just getting too cocky and too arrogant and he nearly loses. And he's just like, shit, I nearly lost to fucking a guy that hasn't wrestled for 14 years. Bollocks. And then he just like, he just can't. It's just like, you've had the rise of Brock, and I would now have the fucking downfall of Brock Lesnar, and then do whatever after that. But like, and it would be a gradual thing. It wouldn't be an instant 89 seconds?
85.
85 seconds. It wouldn't be
89.
that. It would be heading into Mania. But, you know.
Okay, no, I actually think that's not a fairly bad idea. My only problem is that what would Goldberg have to gain from it? Because it's now, I mean, the only thing that I can say is that the score is now even. So he wants a match with Brock Lesnar to try and tie it up to see who's the best out of 3.
Yeah, but it's not tied up. It was not tied up. Well, I mean,
no. In your way of booking, where Brock would have gone over, only barely, but he would have gone over. That means that it is now tied up. Brock has a win over Goldberg. Goldberg has a win over Brock. So I'm assuming that the next logical step would be for Goldberg to be like, well, let's see who's the best in one final match at WrestleMania. Is that what you would have done?
Yeah, but their booking of it was like, but it almost treated this like it was the first time ever that this match has ever happened. So WWE could easily just go, nope, that fucking thing, that thing at 20 didn't happen, did not happen.
No, I disagree entirely. That's what the match was built on, Andy. The entire thing was built upon the fact that Goldberg beat him at WrestleMania.
It's built on a video game.
That too, but it was also built on the fact that they've collided before, and Goldberg is the only man who Brock didn't beat. You can't deny that was a significant factor in the build of this match. If you do, you're crazy.
I would have done it like, just leave it at 1-1.
And also to say if Lesnar went over Goldberg in this magical land of yours, where Lesnar went over Goldberg just barely, but he did go over.
Yes.
Goldberg wouldn't be the major attraction that he is now. It's the fact that Goldberg absolutely demolished Lesnar. You now have more eyes on Raw and more eyes on the product, which is what you wanted initially, when you were like, oh, it's fine if he's on Raw and people see Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and that's what's happening now. Because he's going to be on Raw. He's going to draw eyes onto the product. It's exactly what you wanted. Granted, the way that he got there is controversial, but he got there.
And this is what I mean by the fickle nature of wrestling fans. Andy got what he wanted, but not in the way he wanted it.
Yeah.
And it's the same, like, I'm, you know, an offender of this as well. Like, I did not know how to feel. I was shocked, and I was slightly annoyed, because that's the main event of Survivor Series. And apparently, I think you said to me that there was still half hour left to go, and the main event ended in less than 2 minutes. Like, you know, but then we're not in 1999 in the Attitude Era, which I think we have to remind a lot of wrestling fans. Like, it's not pay-per-views anymore. They're network specials, and you pay a subscription to the network. So it's not like you spent $50 to watch a 2-minute match. Like, you know, you spend $10 a month, and you get the Survivor Series. You get all of it anyway, regardless. So I don't know. I feel like even now I feel a bit confused over how to feel, whether I agree or disagree with how it really went. And I think that's kind of where I want to take it, and that's where I want the Suplah City resident to kind of help me figure out whether this was good or bad.
I mean, the only thing that I can't defend about the entire match is that the people who were there live, the disappointment that they felt, expecting a half-hour epic, travelling how many hours, how many miles to get to the stadium, and then it ends in a minute and a half. I can imagine the disappointment there, and I can't defend that, because that's kind of shitty.
But then again, looking at the crowd for that match, they didn't seem all that annoying.
I think it's more of the adrenaline of the moment, the shock factor, the surprise that got people amped up and excited. I think after maybe about half an hour of it settling in, they were like, I just drove 400 miles and spent how many dollars to have a squash match main event?
To counter that, if you were a hardcore Goldberg fan, like, that's what Goldberg was known for.
To be fair, yeah. What else can
Not
you
only
expect?
that, you were part of something extremely historical. So
You were.
it's like when Ronda Rousey would beat people in 14 seconds. I don't think anyone in
Let
that
me
building...
take this to UFC again.
Oh, I
Sorry.
did it earlier. No one said
Let me talk
anything.
about Ronda Rousey for a second, guys. I know that's unbecoming of me, but hear me out.
I made a UFC reference.
I will link
and
it to
no
Conor
one,
McGregor.
and no one, and no one, and no one said anything.
And no one,
So-
and no one. But you stuck there for a second, Andy.
No,
You okay?
but it's like trying to talk
He was
over
buffering.
shouting.
He was buffering.
He's buffering, of
no
course.
one was talking.
See why this is fun to do. But let's take a look at a Twitter poll that Suplah put out. I asked the audience, was Goldberg defeating Brock Lesnar in less than 2 minutes a good thing? Final results are in. And they are. 15% of people said, I don't know if it's a good thing. 32% of people said no. 53 said, yeah, it's a good thing. So I don't know what that tells you.
It seems like the majority of the city residents think that this was, at least Brock losing was a good thing, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't know. I just still feel, and I think that's kind of where I'm going to leave my thoughts. Like, it's just a general fickle wrestling fan. Like, it was unexpected, but do I like that? I don't know. It's very difficult.
It is a rather confusing
It's very difficult
thing.
for
I
me
think
to
this is
kind
the
of-
most surprising thing to happen since the streak ended. Like, this is warranting the
Oh,
same
yeah.
level of discussion, almost.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. This is kind of... I don't think it's quite to the level of the streak, but it's up there. It's one of the more surprising moments of this generation of wrestling fans. And you know, for me, like, I was never a WCW fan. I came into it after WCW folded, so I only really had Goldberg's WWE run really to go off of. And I don't know, maybe that's why I'm a little underwhelmed, because I wasn't there for the Goldberg squash matches. So maybe there's some older fans who could kind of shed a light and be like, yeah, this was fantastic. This was Goldberg that I remember. I don't know.
I mean, I liked, out of the 85 seconds that happened, I thought it was good. Because in this generation, like, you don't see that kind of match anymore. And it looked like a fight. It looked like they were going to beat the shit out of each other, which would have been great.
Let me guess, it was like UFC!
No, it's a different style. It's a fucking...
It was the same length as a UFC match, to be fair, so...
Some of them, yes. But the...
CM Punk didn't last as long. By the way, he was in UFC, guys, along with Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor!
It was right. Oh, by the way, Punk might be fighting again in UFC. That's weird.
Oh, good. This isn't UFC news, Andy.
I know, I'm just throwing it out. So yeah,
We're talking about Goldberg. Let's talk about CM Punk. No, Andy, let's not.
But no, I mean, it was a good match. If it was gonna, their next matches like that, where they're just like a brawling, beat 'em up fight, then great. You can have your Seth Rollins fucking jumping from balconies and stuff. Great! But, you know, it's nice to see these two. I'd like to see more matches like this, where it's kind of like just beating the shit out of each other. Not for reals, but it looks like you're beating the shit out of each other.
According to good old Dave on Wrestling Observer,
Things are happening.
he says that Goldberg has signed a deal kind of where WWE just pays him when they want him. So he announced obviously on Monday Night Raw this past week that he is going to be at the Royal Rumble. He's going to be in the Rumble match. He's not going to win it, Andy. He's not.
No.
Yeah, and many people have said that about many things this year, and they seemingly happen.
No, but think about it like this. You have Goldberg versus whoever holds the belt, and you have Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar in a controversial rematch round 3. Which is going to make more money? You are right, Sam. Yes, thank you, Andy, for saying.
So, I don't know. Are we excited to see more Goldberg?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan of Goldberg now. Depending on what he does, like if he's not going to go over and bury all the talent on Raw, which I don't think he's going to do, I legitimately think he's not in the ring until January, which isn't that long away. It's only 2 months.
Which gives him enough time to actually train.
Yeah, and he's not bad on the mic giving promos. He's impassionate. I've got no problem with this. What? What if what? What is up? What?
It's just another part-timer to add to the roster.
But here's my thing, though. WrestleMania is 4 freaking hours long, right? By the way, what did they do about Mania? Because Survivor Series should have been 4 hours. SummerSlam was 4 hours. I'm gonna guess that they're gonna make the Rumble 4 hours, because this is like, I've heard that this is their strategy from now, is to put NXT on the night before a major pay-per-view, and then fucking do a 4-hour pay-per-view. So what do? Do you make Mania like 7 hours long or something? God damn.
Okay, here's the problem I have with this. I've always seen people complain, oh, WrestleMania is too long, and it's like, you know that you don't have to sit down at the start of the pre-show and then get up and leave at the end of the post-show. You can just watch whatever you want from it. You can watch the main show itself, which may be 3 or 4 hours, depending on how long it will go. You could watch maybe 2 matches. You could watch the main event and nothing else. Just because it's 7 hours, quote-unquote, that doesn't mean you have to watch all 7 hours from start to finish. You can pick and choose what you want. That's the beauty of the network.
Not if it's live.
Well then, don't watch it live. Avoid spoilers. Watch it in the morning. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying you don't have to sit down for 7 hours in a row.
That's telling me how to live my life.
Well, maybe I'm a health expert. I don't know. What do you want?
I mean, if they have to fill up at WrestleMania like 5 hours or something, then I don't think their roster's. I don't think they've got enough.
Yeah, it is. It'll be fine. The roster will be fine by then.
No, I mean I don't think there's enough people on the roster to fill up a 5-hour show. So you might have.
You'd be surprised.
I would disagree because it's not just about people; it's about the quality of the match and the length of the said match.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, going back to Survivor Series, there was 10 men, right? 10 men that went for 53 minutes.
Just saying.
There you go. That shut him up pretty quickly.
There you go. Good job.
It's not about the amount of people that are on the roster. It's about the quality of the match and how long they can have a slot for. If you have too many people, you'll only have a WrestleMania that's got about 50 matches and 5 minutes long. It's not always about how many people
That would be
are
a
on the
WrestleMania.
roster.
How many matches can we put on? 112! But they all have to be a fucking 2 minutes long.
The Braun Strowman marathon begins now.
Plus entrances.
I mean, let's not forget there was WrestleMania 12, a 1 hour Iron Man match was the main event.
There you go.
I'm not saying that will ever happen again, but you don't have to have 20 matches, Andy.
And factoring in the celebrity performances and backstage segments that everyone hates, and the live concerts, plenty of things can happen.
And you've got your Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal thing where
hell,
like
if you send out the Rock, that'll kill an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
A Rock promo will fill up half the show. You're fine.
Give him a flamethrower. Everything will be alright.
Don't give him a flamethrower.
There you go. You don't have to worry about them not having. I think they have more than enough if they know how to book a show.
Which I think they might do, Andy.
You could honestly, you could have 6 matches for a 4-hour event and still be fine.
Yeah.
Because like Sam says, because also don't forget, halfway during the show they bring out all the Hall of Famers and they.
Oh my God, that song! Ba, 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 ba. I haven't done that for years. By years I mean since April.
He's doing a master's degree, and it physically
Yeah,
hurts
but
him to
okay,
think about
it
that.
feels like it's been so long ago now. I'm writing an article on this year, and it's just like the craziest year of all time. And I have to now add the Goldberg thing to that on top of everything else. Which you can find on Suplah.com.
Yeah, I'm sure Donald Trump and Brexit are quite up there with Goldberg.
No,
Yeah.
no. There are things in wrestling that you don't realise because this year's been so, like,
Remember when
mad.
Goldberg went over Brock Lesnar by getting the Electoral College votes, and yet Brock Lesnar had the popular vote? Remember that?
Remember Goldberg? Yeah, I remember Goldberg versus Lesnar. Oh yeah, I remember that. South Park, listen, no. Alright.
Everybody's talking at me.
So I put my article, which you can read on Suplah.com, onto Facebook, and I implored the Suplah City to comment in and say what they thought of Goldberg. Glenn Fielding says the following. May I add that the reports are going around that this was actually Brock's idea. He thought that there was big money doing this feud again, and the squash was so that Goldberg had a chance to get himself into better shape so maybe they can do it again at the Rumble, or WrestleMania, and maybe do an actual proper match. Maybe do it Hell in a Cell or Last Man Standing, so it wouldn't necessarily have to be technical wrestling and more entertaining as an all-out brawl. I mean, if it was Brock's idea, we can hardly blame him.
Keelan is here. What do you think about Goldberg winning?
I found it quite entertaining. Like, obviously no one saw that coming. I mean, I'm not one of those butthurt fans. I'm not like one of those butthurt fans that are just like, oh my god, he needs to have a 50-minute Iron Man match like Ring of Honor. It's Goldberg.
That's basically what I was saying, so fuck.
Fair enough, there you go. I mean, Brock's idea, what do we think about that? It's weird to think that Brock Lesnar has booking ideas.
Well, I understand where he's coming from. I think it's more the fact that he saw that Goldberg didn't really take the match seriously, was not in ring shape, and was just like, look, I don't want a repeat of WrestleMania 20, especially because my stock is so up now. I don't think Goldberg wants that, because does he really want to go out on a match that people are booing? That's the whole reason why he kind of came back, because everyone shat on his last WWE match. Tell you what, he's in shit shape. Why don't we just have him squash me, so then I still have fire to the fuel to try and get one over, and we can have a rematch at WrestleMania and have it in some sort of, I don't know, super hardcore fire, barbed wire,
spit-swapping makeout
death
match.
of death.
What
There you
kind
go.
of stipulation match is that?
It's in a very small regional promotion in Yorkshire. It's probably just best to leave it there. It's got Wife Beater and Barry the Henderson.
Barry the Henderson.
Well, I have no idea what you just...
I think you may have. I don't doubt that.
Did you, like, have some kind of weird, like, aneurysm when you were speaking there? Or,
You can't
like...
talk, Andy.
I can't talk!
Jason Chadwick says it was a classic Goldberg WCW match. Arrive, knock down, spear or two, jackhammer, and then leave. Which is the way people want to remember him, other than his disastrous run in 2003 and 2004. The shocker was Brock being squashed. Now, me being no fan of Brock's considering his conduct, watching him get destroyed was oh so sweet. Say what you want about the longevity of the match, but fans ate it up in the arena, and the bar I went to in Glasgow ate it up too. Goldberg wrestling beyond Survivor Series doesn't sound like a good move, but whether you agree with that decision or not, people will watch. Which is my point exactly! More eyes on the product! That's exactly what Andy wanted.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I think
what
more people were interested in watching Raw the night after because they want to see what will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a shame Brock wasn't there.
Why would he be there? What would he do if he was there in the same place as Goldberg? The same thing we've already seen? Oh, punch him. Oh, just come up and punch him.
Andy Kwan booking 101.
Brock Lesnar should come out and punch him. Remember what, Andy?
Security comes in and breaks it up.
But Andy, we've already seen that on Raw.
Oh!
Do it again! Fucking pleb.
And then have The Rock come out with a flamethrower.
I never said that was good, by the way.
You did! You did!
When? It was me being sarcastic!
Brendan Davis says the following. I think this was an awesome thing to do, as the screenshot featured in my article shows. Going into it, I was so paranoid of him having a repeat of the first match at WrestleMania 20, and I was proven dead wrong. This was short, sweet, and shows that Goldberg is the Beast Slayer. I'm totally going to check out Raw for the fallout. I think WWE's plan worked. Ermagerd, so hype. The proof is in the pudding.
Fair point. It's a fair point.
Well, I'm
I think
obviously
most of the city...
I'm in the wrong here.
Yeah.
City Hall seems not City Hall. The citizens of Suplah City seem to think that. I think we need to change. I think because of what's happened, we can no longer call ourselves Suplah City because Suplex City has fallen.
Okay, so what do we call ourselves now?
That means I can go back to my old intro. Yeah!
There you go. There you go. We just go.
Hello, wrestling fans! Yes! I miss saying that.
I didn't want this today.
Everybody's talking at me.
I can tell you that we are on multiple social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter, and you can find us on Instagram. Just search the Suplah and you will find us. We have a website, suplah.com, where we have articles, the broadcast, and just random shit. Also, we have Keelan's website, wrestlepundit.com. Go to that website. That's where we get our news. He writes things for his website. He's probably doing it right now.
What are you looking at?
I'm pointing at his...
Why are you looking to your wall? What are you doing?
Me or...
You! Yes, you're looking off camera. What are you doing?
No, because he lives in the room next door.
Oh my god, we are going live next weekend, believe it or not, because there's another pay-per-view. TLC. What are we going live for? TLS.
Tables, ladders, and Suplah.
That's it. Join us at 8 PM GMT, 3 PM Eastern. Same old thing, same place.
Can we change it to tablespoons, Liam and Suplah?
No.
Fucking idiot. Right, so that's probably a natural way of ending this. Spoons.
We have a gaming channel.
Yes, we now have a gaming channel. Go to Suplah Gaming. Look that up, and you will find us playing video games. Sometimes intoxicated, sometimes not. Most of the time, not. You can find the magic adventures of Derek when he was a BMXer. Also in the NBA. That's fun. So, I have been Andy Kwan.
I have been disappointed in Andy's ability to close a show properly.
That was a good outro. God damn it.
He's the worst at ending.
I am good at this.
Goodbye.
What are you laughing?
You're literally the worst.
What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong.
That is fun.